What up, YouTube? Back here at part 2 of the cut test. I have the Chogan, CRKT Chogan, the Schrade SAXE3, United Cutlery M48, and the SOG Fasthawk. And as you can see, I've got a bunch of stuff I can cut and tear up through here. And so we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to go back over to the camera, tilt it down, so we're concentrating on this right here. Got a bunch of this stuff I'm going to go ahead and split, or see what it can do as far as splitting goes, and we'll see what happens. Let me angle this down. Like I was saying before, is that with the 2x4s, it's more of a controlled material to cut through, where this wood has been, even though it's all been evenly dried, as you can see, everything's kind of set up here in different phases of when it was cut and processed to when it's drying and when it'll be able to burn. So I grabbed some stuff from over there, which has been drying for a little bit more than stuff that's over there. So it'll be a difference there, but I grabbed 3 likewise or like size little logs to split, and hopefully that'll kind of, like I said, you'll get more information off what I did with the 2x4s than this, but this is kind of more of a real outdoorsy type of scenario to kind of add another aspect of the game or the testing. So we'll see what happens. So far everything, they're all performing really well. You know, when I split wood over here, I'll show you in a second, I'll show you the axe I usually use to split. So, and it fares pretty well in comparison to the size or whatever. So this is what we use here, full-fledged long axe, whatnot, and basically this will tear through and split wood like you wouldn't believe. Nothing too special, normal axe there. Really good quality axe, and that's what we usually use. So anyway, before we get started, gloves. Even though my hands are pretty burly, I don't want to deal with having to heal blisters or a missed strike or something and mess myself up. So here we go. Let's get these out of the way. We'll start in the same order we did last time. Alright, so far this feels a little awkward with the gloves because the handle is so narrow, but I'm sure I'll definitely appreciate this better. Let me do something real quick, get the stump out the way. Ooh. Get some traction. Need traction. Alright, let's see what we got. One strike. Oh. Not bad. Splitting stuff. That had no problem going through that, splitting that. Didn't miss strike at all. That was a Shrade, the SAXE3 with the battle spike. Battle spike, pretty awesome. Pretty good. If you were going to process wood or whatever, you could sit there and you know, I could grab a piece like so to cut. Boom. Put it on the block. Split it, no problem. So the axe, or the point on the axe, definitely pretty awesome for that. So, next up, CRKT. Okay, I tell you right off the bat, you need a glove when you're using this, because between the glove and the way they did the handle, this feels awesome. This, in comparison from going to the heaviest to the lightest, there's such a big weight difference here with this. Smaller head, smaller everything. This has got to do a lot more to do what I'm doing now, or to go through. You know, there's going to be a little bit more work. I'm kind of skeptical because of its size. As far as small processing stuff, I'm going to cut some little stuff here in a second. I'm sure it's awesome for little stuff. That's got the added weight. You don't really muscle through stuff, but let's see what this does. Who knows? All right. Now it's tearing. This thing is burying its whole head inside here. The edge geometry and the whole way this thing is ground is causing the whole head of this to go through there. I think the fact that its small head, the only thing that's keeping it from splitting this wood is the handle right here. It gets to a certain point, cuts through, and then this handle hits here and keeps it stops it from going in. I'm gonna try to do a shallow cut right here and see what we can do. And there again, like I said, the handle keeps it from going through. See? See, all the cuts are going this way. Let's see what we can do now. So, you can process wood with that. It would have to be on a smaller scale, smaller branches. Let's try something real quick. See, there you go. So, this axe right here, let's see. Sorry about the glare. The axe right here, like I said, because of its smaller, the smaller head, what happens is it's going through the wood, and if the wood was like, let's say the width of my hand, it cuts through, and then the handle hits right there and keeps it from penetrating the full way through and getting in there. Smaller pieces, you can see, had no problem getting through. As far as the edge, the geometry on this and how sharp, I mean, it tears through. I mean, every time I hit through the axe, this head buries itself all the way up to the CRKT logo, to the handle. That's why every time you saw me pulling out, I had to struggle to yank it back and forth to get it out. But the cool thing about it is these sharpened edges or tapered edges on top or bottom made it really easy to take this axe out of there. With our normal axe that I was showing you that we usually split wood around here, it takes a lot more to muscle that out of there than it did this. So really good idea as far as that beveling on the top and on the bottom to be able to retrieve the axe out of thick stuff like that. And you can process wood with it. I just showed you cutting that little log deal, no problem. So, but like I said, I think it being smaller, what this is designed for is kind of like something you would put in your car, something light in your pack to do small processing, like smaller branches. Let's say 3 inches in diameter or so. This would tear ass through, no problem. Those blocks over there, those are like 4.5 to 5 inches in diameter. It's a little much to ask for this, but it can be done. Absolutely. You saw me. I split that minimal time. You know, how many of those do I need to split for a fire? I'd say probably about 10 of them or so. So you would spend like maybe, you know, 15 minutes processing the wood for a fire. Which is not bad. As far as how light this is and how small it is and how you can pack it in a bag, not a big deal whatsoever. So, I imagine we're going to have the same situation with these guys because of the small head also. But we'll go ahead and try it out. Maybe not because of the length of the handle, I don't know. You know, it'd be really funny if a piece of wood went and hit the damn camera. Actually, I didn't see where that went. Let me go check the camera view, because it would suck to go through all this. Double check, because I heard it hit the wheelbarrow. Alright, we're still in frame. Okay. Wow. Amazingly enough. Well, that was a SOG Fasthawk. They just went ahead and split through that. Remember this guy, I reprofiled this edge with a convex grind, and it actually, it just flew through that pretty darn easy there. I'm going to do the M48. Last piece here. See what she does. Not bad. Not bad at all. Minimal effort. Like I said, the spike is pretty cool to go grab. You got a bunch of stuff already locked down on the ground. You can pick this shit up like so. Not bad. I'm really impressed as far as ergonomics and stuff. All these guys right here with gloves, they feel nice. You know, they feel really good. The Schrade's handle is kind of narrow and it feels awkward in my hand with a glove, but without a glove, it seemed to feel alright. I don't know after extended chopping how it would feel. I mean, let me see, I don't have anything wide or something long to go ahead and chop into here. Actually, I got a crap load of stuff to chop into, but I got to process it so it fits in the wood stuff. I don't want to make a mess out of my my father-in-law's stuff, you know, go crazy here. But I guess we could do is have a sacrificial lamb here. You look cool. Sacrificial lamb. Alright. Let's go back. We'll set these up in the order that we were testing them in. When I'm putting these axes in the log, tapping them in there, I'm finding it, when I'm striking them in there, that CRKT just digs itself in there and it's just in there, where the other one's kind of hit in there and it's stuck in there, but there's a little bit of play where the CRKT definitely has more get up and get in there. Same thing with the Shrade. So we're going to go ahead and see what it can do here. There you go. This is cedar, by the way, and it's wet cedar. And that's what she did with it. You seen the amount of wax I took out of it. By the way, this other wood that I was cutting through that was split was elderwood. So elderwood's kind of probably your most wanted wood to find in the woods because it does burn pretty quick and it's really easy to process. So those axes winging through the elderwood is probably your best case scenario as far as wood processing. If you find elderwood, you're friggin' golden because you can cut through and process that and it burns pretty good too. So that's why we got lucky enough to grab a bunch of it. Alright, flip over on this side. We're going to go with the CRKT. Holy crap, this thing is tearing ass in this. Alright, that's about enough. There you go. Not as wide as impressive as this, but it tore ass deep in there. I'm thinking the reason why that CRKT may appear to be falling short is the fact that it's short stature. It is 2.5 inches and in some cases 3.5 inches shorter than what I'm testing it against. So that right there has a lot to do with how much swing and how much power you can put behind it. But as you can see, it tore through this pretty good. I think it has a lot to do with the edge geometry, that really slim grind. Even though the blade or the blade stock is really thick, it's got a really long grind to it, which causes it to bury itself deep. Like I said, I'm planting it inside these logs to put it to the side, and it buries itself deep and it's stuck in there. So not bad. I'm actually impressed. I knew it would kind of have an issue, it being shorter, lighter, competing with the rest of these guys. But I'm pretty impressed. Because I'm a big CRKT fan, I was hoping it would kick the rest of these guys' ass. But as you can see, I mean, edge geometry can only do so much. You add a little bit extra weight and stuff. You know, if the other axes, the Schrade probably has closer to the edge, the ideal edge geometry like the CRKT does, and that's why it's doing so well. And it happens to be the biggest and the heaviest, so it's just tearing through stuff. So anyway, SOG Fasthawk. I got 2 knots right here. We'll see what's happening. Alright, that's enough. I think it went a little bit more than what we did with the other ones. There you go. That was a Fasthawk. Not as good as Shrade. Not as good as that CRKT. Although I did cut a little wider. Like I said, the 2x4 is so much better. So much better of a like a neutral testing material to cut through than this wood. I mean, it could be a possibility that how dense wood has a tendency to, or how the tendency of wood to be more dense around knots are. That could be it. I mean, who knows? And I'm gonna go right here with the M48. All right, M48, it's right there. SOG, Fasthawk right there. I'd say they're about the same, maybe. Like I said, it's really hard to tell. So anyway, that pretty much concludes it. I don't see what else you saw. It split this alder wood. All of them but the CRKT was able to go through that. The CRKT, like I said, I think it has a lot to do with the length of the handle, the weight of it, and that may have something to do. I think more the length of the handle and how much I was able to go in and swing. I was trying not to swing any harder on one than the other, just keep it moderate, just so it's fair. So, I don't know, like I said, it's I did some basic testing or whatever, what I thought would be fair, and to kind of show you a full range of capabilities of these axes that I have picked out for this test, and hopefully you can get something out of it. I thought it was pretty cool. I don't mind cutting wood, you know. I cut a lot of this that you see here, so I don't mind cutting wood. I think it's fun. So you can take what you want from this. It's not an ideal scientific test, but I mean, you know, it's what it's the best way I thought, you know, to be able to do this. You know. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. There's going to be one last part 3 of this. It's kind of a conclusion where I'll measure the 2x4s, the depth of cutting in that, and kind of conclude this whole test. So, thanks you for tuning in. Part 3 coming soon. Peace.